So hey everyone, I just thought I would put a quick video together about keeping your feet warm, keeping your feet dry during the, I guess primarily autumn, winter months. But anyway, in the UK it rains in the summer, so it doesn't really make any difference. I guess the one thing that just changed though is the temperature. So come up a couple of times this week on Twitter. I really do need to put in the description my Twitter user so you guys can follow, but yeah, so back to the point around keeping feet warm and keeping feet dry. So very quickly, there's two approaches as I see it. So the first is, I guess the first how it came up is people talking about a cheap pair of shoes for winter. Personally, my advice would be don't waste any money buying new shoes. Take a pair that you've already got. So this has been my, I guess, fairly regular, or was at some point, summer shoe. It's seen better days, still works perfectly fine, it's just a little bit shabby now because it is well used. So why not take the shoe that you would normally use in the summer? The challenge being is that they are normally vented, so therefore water will get into them, but stick a slightly thicker pair of socks on, pair up with an overshoe. So this isn't a fully waterproof overshoe, it's neoprene. The only fully waterproof overshoes that I've seen are ones that either have a plasticky feel to them, so there's quite a few out there. Castelli make them, Endura do them, yeah, a whole load, but you can tell because it's got a kind of plasticky feel to it, almost like a bag. And the other ones which I find are 100% waterproof and work really well for me because they have a very tight, you can see here, so these ones quite open and I've got quite thin ankles, so even when these are closed up really tight there's still a little bit of a gap in them. But the Velo Toes ones, which effectively is just a rubber glove that's shaped like an overshoe, they work really well for me in terms of keeping my feet dry because they're really tight around the top of the ankle, so no water runs down, which is often the challenge with these. The problem with them though is that they're not breathable at all, and so as your feet get hot, your feet get really sweaty. Unfortunately I don't have any now because they always break, but yeah, as a one-off they're a great overshoe. Anyway, back to the point. So slightly thicker pair of socks, your shoe, whatever it may be, and then pair with some of these overshoes. That's probably the budget approach to keeping your feet at least warm and a lot drier than what they would be if you didn't go out with an overshoe on. All in there, overshoe is probably what, 30 quid. Shoe I was using anyway, yeah, it will take a battering during the winter, but that'll be it. The alternative, if you want to go all out, if you're going to be riding in all weathers, is something like this. There's a couple of these. These are the Specialized Defroster. So fully waterproof. You see it's plastic here. It's got a much higher top on it as well. Again, there's a bit of neoprene on there, but that's much higher, so it goes up around the ankle, stops the road splash from coming in. And there's also a lot more padding in there as well, so it keeps your feet much warmer. They're not the most cost-effective thing on the market, and clearly you're only going to get the use out of them during the autumn and winter months. So I would say this is your higher end approach. So Northwave also makes something like this as well. I guess the little bonus with these, which I'll just show you, and they're fully reflective, so even night riding, really good. People can see your little legs spinning around and you're lit up like a Christmas tree. Couple of challenges with this setup. So first of all, the price versus what we were just looking at. This is probably going to be, if you set the price of the shoes aside, because clearly that changes things a little bit. But price for these, I think the Northwave ones are around about 100 to 120. The Specialized around about 140 to 170. They do come in two different setups, so you can get the mountain bike cleat or you can get the road cleat with these. So price is definitely the first thing. I mentioned before, if you've got particularly small ankles, then getting this really tight around the top to stop water from running down, especially if you're wearing kind of shower-proof or rain-proof bibs, then the water's going to hit those and run down into your ankle. So that's another thing to be mindful of. And I would say the final thing is probably the stack height. So depending on which bike you're riding these with or how many bikes you have. But the height here, because of the cleat and then also going inside, I do have to adjust the saddle slightly versus using a normal road shoe. It could just be the difference though between this shoe and that shoe. So we won't get too hung up on that. It's just something to be mindful of. Very easy to get on and off. So this opens up, he says it's got a nice boa design in there, so you can get them just how you like them, and that wraps over, and then you get this then that goes around the top. So yeah, decent shoe. Probably do take you a minute or two to get on and then adjust. Not literally a minute or two, but certainly a little longer than just slipping your foot in. But once they're on, really comfortable. Keep your feet warm, keep them dry. It's just the cost really that's I guess prohibitive to most people. You're only going to wear these for 3-4 months of the year, maybe a little longer if winter drags on, but you know, you're not going to wear them come summertime. So it's probably one of those things you buy, they're probably going to last you for 3-4 years, I would guess. So from that point of view, you know, versus using a summer shoe that's going to get battered and then you're going to have to replace every year. It really depends whether or not you're in it for the long term, I guess, and whether or not you want to make that kind of investment. So I've had them for a couple of years. You can see they've been out in all weathers, but generally, other than a bit of a clean up, they're in really good nick. So any comments or questions, drop them in the section below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching.